This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Welcome to today's Talk Business and Politics. I'm Roby Brock, joined by John Brummett of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
All right.
What do you got?
Chiefs, 49ers. Who's your early pick? Who are you going with? Who are you cheering for?
Well, I'm going to qualify my answer to this extent. I prefer the Chiefs, and I'm really excited about this team. I find it most interesting. Something tells me the 49ers are a more thorough team with the running game and the defense and the way they manhandled the Packers. So when you say, who am I going for, I'm going to be rooting hard for the Chiefs. But I expect, if I must predict, that the 49ers are favored. I would tell you that yesterday morning I was on a local radio station with a local radio personality, and I explained what was going to happen. And I said, this Tennessee offense, they're going to manage to get 21 or 24 points, but that's not going to be enough. The Chiefs will simply outscore them. I said, I'm looking like 31-24. So it was 35-24, and I looked very smart. But you know something else I said? In the course of getting those 24 points, Derrick Henry will probably run for 180 yards. He ran for more than 100 less than that.
Wow.
So, predictions. But it's a good game. There's star quality there with this Kansas City quarterback. He's quite a deal.
I think I was a little bit secretly hoping for Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes just for the State Farm Super Bowl.
Also, do you know that the very first Super Bowl
Yes.
was Kansas City Chiefs of the old AFL with Lynn Dawson? You don't even know who I'm talking about.
I do too. He used to smoke a cigarette on the
He did.
sideline
And the great Packer dynasty with Bart Starr.
Yeah,
that's right.
Now I wasn't born then. Well, no, I was born then, barely though. I was just in diapers, but I was a big student of early NFL football, so I really.
You think we spend enough time on football?
You want to move to politics?
I'd rather talk football.
Let's move to a football player who's in politics. John Boozman,
right,
Arkansas
Razorback
senior senator, tells me he's running again for re-election. What do you think the implications of that are?
Well, one, he says he plans to. I still think something tells me he might not, and that's just me. Things could change. But I was struck by two things upon hearing that. One of which is this. He seems to, the irony, this is a column, he's got a chance to be chairman of Senate Agriculture Committee, and that's going to be real important, and he's going to run for that. We had a Senate Agriculture Committee chairman in 2010, Blanche Lincoln, who was in a position to have the Arkansas farmers' backs for years, as long as the Democrats stayed in power, which turned out not to be all that long, and he ran against her and beat her on the basis that wasn't enough. So there's some irony there. The other is I thought Boozman would step aside. He said some health matters, and I just had this feeling that he might, and that would be where Asa would naturally go, because Asa has told you, because this is the place where all the interviews are had, apparently. Asa has told you that he's not done after this governorship. He's done as governor because he's terminated, and I thought that's the natural place. Now, Asa may just have to run for president. He and Tom Cotton may have to battle it out for the soul of the Republican Party.
Well, I told Asa in that interview where he said that the AG's office will be open too. So if he wants to run for AG, he can.
You mean an Arkansas Attorney General?
Yeah.
He ran for that. I don't know what his post-governorship avenue is now. Those are the two things: the irony and the Asa circumstance.
I will say privately, I have heard that Boozman says he feels better physically than he has felt in years because of the surgery that has helped correct.
And I'm
his
happy for him. He is
and
a consummate nice man, not a particularly policy stalwart. I was struck in that interview that whatever Pompeo and the defense secretary said is all right with me. Unlike, say, Mike Lee, a fiery conservative who thought it was insulting to the intelligence of the senators. But that's Boozman's style, and he can be the kind of senator he wants to be, and I can critique it if I choose.
All right,
as I do in tomorrow's column.
We are sitting down on MLK Day.
Right.
Happy MLK holiday to you. Michael Bloomberg,
is in
Democratic presidential candidate, is in Little Rock. You're going to visit with him, aren't you? Maybe?
Possibly. They asked me if I would be interested, and I said, I got it. Roby Brock comes first on Monday mornings. So we're looking for another time, and if possibly, if given the opportunity.
Does Bloomberg have a chance to win Arkansas?
Oh, gosh, possibly.
On the Democratic side, yeah.
Yeah, possibly. This is interesting. And the one thing I want to ask him is purely tactical. By your entering this race and spending all this money and starting on Super Tuesday, are you not saying explicitly or implicitly that the ones running are going to demonstrate through the first four that there's not a winner in the group and the Democrats need somebody better, and that's what you're all about? And that's what he's doing, and he's spending untold sums of money, and he's going to have a Super Bowl ad all to get started on March 3rd. He is the center-left alternative to Warren Sanders. That's what Biden is now. Bloomberg would be that in Biden's place. So he is seeking, I think, eventually to supplant Biden or replace Biden if Biden shows weakness and falters. Biden's base, African-American vote, has stuck with him in every poll. Kamala Harris is gone, Cory Booker's gone, Joe has had it. What did Bloomberg do yesterday in Tulsa? Gave an economic justice speech about...
he's riding in the MLK parade.
And then he's coming here to ride in the MLK. Two historic southern cities in the race history of the country with a message specifically about black economic issues. So that's very interesting to me. And I think it all depends what happens in the first four. If we get a weak split decision out of the first four, which I mean Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada caucuses, and then South Carolina, then yeah, it's there for the man who's entering the race. So I give him a chance, and because he's now been here twice, he came down here to file for some reason, and then he's here today. I would think he would have a chance, but the whole dynamic will be set by these first four races, and he's dependent on it being set in a way that presents on March 3rd a weak and frayed field.
I think this was a Rudy Giuliani strategy many years ago, too.
Rudy waited and waited and waited, and then well, Rudy, that didn't work.
He's a segue to our next topic. How about that? We do
You
bring up
said last
impeachment.
week we weren't going to talk about impeachment, try to get through this without it. But I don't see how
stumbled.
you can.
Yeah, but because Trump put together his his Olympic dream team there of defense lawyers there with Ken Starr and Alan Dershowitz. And Pam Bondi. What do you make of that? Be gentle.
I will be gentle, but I will be conventional. It's just, one thing last week after I gave my standard Trump spiel, and you were saying, could we talk about something else next week because it's always the same? I've got this. I've got Trump figured out, and it all comes back to that. He lives on television. He judges everything by television. He is the apprentice television president. That's what it's all about. He's sitting there in the White House, and it occurs to him, oh, this is going to be on TV for several days. And my White House counsel, he's not very telegenic. He doesn't know TV. Maybe he's a good lawyer, but that's not what this is about. I got to look good on TV. Who can I get? Who are my celebrity lawyers? And so he comes up with Dershowitz. He comes up with Ken Starr, because he is a superficial, telegenically driven human being, and that's what this is all. He wants star quality on his side. Immaterial what they may say, or whether Ken Starr, and these are Dershowitz, Epstein lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Ken Starr, displaced as a chancellor or president, whichever it was, Baylor because of a sex scandal with the football team that was not adequately administratively overseen. And also discredited largely by the last impeachment of Clinton. They're not your conventionally politically smart choices.
This isn't Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, is what you're saying.
No, but it's a TV show to Trump because life is a TV show, seems to me.
All right, what can we look forward to in your future columns later this week?
Tomorrow is the thing I just talked about. I finally looked at your interview with Boozman.
Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it.
Because it was good.
I read your columns too.
Yeah, you get around to them, don't you?
Yeah, all the time.
And I had not, somebody said, he now says definitely he's running. And I said, where did he say that? He said it to Roby Brock. Oh, everybody says it to Roby Brock. Okay, so I went back and read it, and then I saw his, whatever they tell us, I'm going to believe about the Iran imminent threat. And I have a little essay on him that's critical, but in its own way kind of understanding of his personal style. And then perhaps Wednesday or later in the week, you'll see if I have anything to say about the local visit of Bloomberg. So basically, you've just gotten my next
just
two
previewed
columns.
It though to tease it to everybody that is watching and listening this interview, so that they
either
will
previewed
read
it or elicited from me everything here that I've got to say in notes. but read them to see.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Good to see you, my friend.
Thank
all right.
you.
That is all for today's Talk Business and Politics. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you next time.